you've been around this earth for a while. Not calling
Mhm.
you old, but you've been for a while.
Oh yeah.
So, what dynamics have you seen switch with male and females, with relationships, hooking up, or just how the opposite sex interacts with each other?
What dynamics? I think right now I've seen women in charge.
Okay.
Period. Women's been doing their thing, and we seem to be the follower towards what. But I'll tell you that's a backwards thing. You know why I say it's a backwards thing? Because when you get women in charge, remember, women's the one what bear our childs and our kids and whatever we need to go and do.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, man has to go out and fend for the things what we need to go and do in life. But nowadays, women are doing everything, and that's not a good. That's an off balance. Why I say it's a off balance? Because when you put everything on one single soul, God did not just build one of us; He built two, man and woman. First thing He did was did the man, and then took whatever needed out from the man to build a woman. And now, when you put the woman in charge, what's going to happen with that now? It's going to turn this world topsy turvy. You need to even out the balance. When a woman says 50-50, it's not 50-50. It's either 50-40 or 30-70. That's between that. Because at the end of the day, they don't realize what 50-50 is. 50-50 is when I say something, it means something towards you. I'm not just saying it for me, I'm saying it towards you.
Mm.
I'm saying it with you, and we're directing it towards everybody. We deal with things towards as a team. And this is a thing what we seem to be failing into is being a team player. We seem to lose that concept when it comes into a relationship. One of the key things with relationships what we lose out on is being a team player. Every single day we get up and we look at things and we want to get into something with somebody. You know, you go out there, you're looking for a certain type of woman. So you're looking for a type of woman with long hair. You're looking for one with a sexy body. You're looking for all these things. But I noticed that one of the things we're just looking for things, materialistic things.
Yeah.
We're not looking for things that are actually mind scenting, things that are interesting you, things that are directing you, things that are giving you more strength, things what you're weak at. Say I'm not a person who's great at reading. I have this woman, she's great at reading. She's great at writing. She's great at this. Things what I'm weak at, she helps out and balances it out. Things what she's weak at, sports or whatever it may be, I'm strength at that for her. So these are the things that we need to look when we link into relationship with any type of woman. One of the key things, I was listening to something with Steve Harvey, and he said this was so truthful. Just like a job, they give you 90 days to give you on trial period. I think that's what you should do to start with your relationship before you start to get any sexual action with your relationship. Give them 90 days. 90 days to get involved with whatever you need to go and do. Just enjoy the time that you spend with each other. Get to know each other. One of the key things, you don't have to be married, you don't have to be, in love with the person. Get to know the person. Relationship is one of the key things. You need to relate to the person. What make this person angry? What does not make this person angry? What will make this person go? What will make this person, better themselves?
Yeah.
That's what the key is. We need to always look at each other to better each other. The thing is, with relationships, we seem to jump into them because what it is we think first is a sexual thing with it. That's all we're aiming for. What are you truly, this is my thing. What are the main key things? What are you relating towards this person? What are the key things you're looking towards this person? Not just their looks, not just their personality. You have to look what's in their heart. The key thing is you have to look what in that person's heart. If the person has good family value, that's one of the things you need to be around their family because you're gonna
100%.
know that. One of my ex-girls, I went to the house. The mother looked at me. Dad sat down with me. Don't know these people yet. Sat down with me and said, "Truly, you want to be with my daughter?" And I said, "Wait, this is mother and father. Don't know me." But
Mm.
they sat me down and said, "Do you really truly know this girl?" I go, "To an extent." They go, "This one is not good for you." This is a mother and father telling me this for their child. He goes, "Oh, she ran away from when she was 16 years old." He's a bad pin name. I say, yo, but still, I told him that I don't trust her to the fullest. I really like to be around her. You go, that's all you're gonna probably get out of her, cause after a while she's gonna run away like how she ran away from us. She's gonna run away from you same way. And what they said, it was true. She did her thing. But that's how people are. You need to understand something here. Anything in life, you need to know that it's a relationship. You need to relate to the person. You cannot let this person go to bed angry. You cannot let this person, be vindictive about you. By coming, she get angry at you. She's ripping up your clothes. She's destroying your stuff. Stuff's her stuff. It'll come and go. But at the end of the day, if you're around that kind of person, stay away as far as possible as you can. Because at the end of the day, that person's not looking out the good interest for you. That person's just looking out for themselves. And a lot of times we get into that sexual relationship and we don't realize it's just a sexual relationship. And that's why before you get into a relationship, I should actually tell you should start off with being upfront with the person. The person might think you're being bold or being rude or whatever they may be. If they think you're being rude, then you're going like, yo, you're not the person for me. At the end of the day, I'm telling you what I want and what I prefer in a woman. And if that woman doesn't have that criteria, and the same thing you have to do to a man, this is what I want and this is what I prefer in a man. These are the things what you got to put out there on your table. I know it might seem bold, but at the end of the day, if you're not being bold, you're not being what you want to be.
It's true.
Yeah.
I think people are beating around the bush.
Yep.
They're not straightforward and doing the actions that they want. People are in this disguise. They want to lie to get play or lie to get something from that person. Just be upfront. If you see that person and you don't want a relationship with them, but you just want the physical, and it's like, yo, I find you attractive, and I think we'll kick it off physical. If you see something long term, speak about it. If you just think it's a friendship, talk about it. Don't be, I don't want to say roping the person along, but be direct. A real man knows what he wants. If you're gonna beat around the bush and have your head down, and when time comes you don't get what you want and you're in hissy fit, it's on you. You should have speak your truth from day one. All this lying and being deceitful, it's not for me, man. Like, I really feel like I was born in the wrong era. Like, I think I should have been born in the 70s or 80s, because people just lie to get ahead or lie to get a personal gain from somebody, whether it's a guy or a girl, which is stupid. You should be upfront. Being upfront, I think, in my opinion, is the most attractive thing in the world. It's showing your strength and your weakness at the same time. It's like, hey, look, I'm not with the games. This is what I want. If you can't come to my terms, it's whatever, but thanks for giving me this opportunity to tell you what I want, or giving me time to talk to you. Call it a day. But a lot of people prefer the lie than the truth. To me, the truth will always get buried by the lie, because the lie is more believable, which is stupid. Truth is always something that makes you feel, or it should make you feel vulnerable. If the truth doesn't make you feel vulnerable, or doesn't make you feel, like you said, bold, don't bother. The truth should set you free. That's the saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if my intentions with the opposite sex is, hey, I want full commitment, how about you? And if they say no, I just want physical, and that's not what you want, then alright, cool. Thanks for the time that we spent. No hard feelings. I learned a lot about you and myself. Enjoy life. That's it. Don't get butthurt. Don't get in a hissy fit. Don't call the person out their name. Don't do anything. Be a man. Walk away. So with the so we just talked about relationships and stuff. How about like uh, married couples, or have you seen like the incline of men being men?
Oh, one other thing, married couples. Wow.
Mm.
There've been a lot of divorces lately. I noticed that. The reason why I notice a lot of divorce, it's a financial thing. It's not compatible. Where the financial thing. Usually, some people in relationships they get into things that they think they could afford at the moment, and all of a sudden, then it just all comes at all at once at them. And instead of being a team player and trying to help each other out, they're trying to put the burden on the one person, and that's not good. If you're trying to put the burden on just a man alone, or you're trying to put the burden on just a woman alone because she's making more money or thing wise, it doesn't make no sense. It's a team effort towards everything what we do. So you try to even out the balance and try to make the balance as best as possible as you can. Trying to be a helping hand. One of the key things what a woman loves in the most is a working man. No matter what you do, a working man, a man what actually steps out in the boundary and say, I'm working. And the same thing with a working man. He loves to have a working woman. A woman what actually wants to achieve and better their life. Not sit down and wait for welfare or these other things. Listen to that word, well. You're not well when you're on those things because what you're not well. Till you start to get off those things, that'll better your life. When a man sees you being a good woman is when you actually step out there, going to school, directing your life to be a better mother, or just being a better person in general. And it's the same thing with a man. When a man's sitting down there every single day and just doing nothing, that does not make you a good man, man. You need to step out the boundaries and start to earn your keep. End of the day, you're not put on this earth to sit down on your ass. Anything what you ask from God, you have to be putting into working hand. God can't help you when you're lazy. That's all I could say to you. He can't put nothing into your hand when you're lazy because that's not the way he operates. He operates with you doing something, no matter what it takes to go and do. Even if you're lifting up something, he operates with you lifting something. Because each day when you're lifting that something, he's building you up. He's building you stronger, he's building you better, and he's building you with a better mindset towards what your life is going to be. And these are the things what I think relationships needs to understand. Anything what you're going to get better into, you need to start building it up. Don't let it sit down there. If you want to build a good relationship, you need to build it up, just like you're building on weights. Each day you do a little bit more. You start with a 10 pound, then you go to a 15, then you go to a 20, then you go to a 30, then you start to get to a 100. Then slowly you start to build up. You're doing like 200, 300. And that's how you start to build up your relationship. Like, don't ever think your relationship is going to always start from the top. It always starts from the bottom and then it starts to build up. And this is how I'm noticing that we need to really realize in marriages and everything what we do. Start to build it up from a small bit to start to build it up more stronger and stronger each day. So when anything comes at you, you are ready for it, financially or physically.
Yeah, you have a point.
Uh,
People are building from the pyramid tip
uh,
down, not from the pyramid bottom up.
mm,
I think that's people should do because, like I said, always foundation is always key. If you build the roof before the foundation of the house, what do you have?
okay.
The foundation is the stepping stone of anything that you do in this life, whether it's relationship, work, personal gain, personal programming, and setting boundaries. The foundation is always key. What do you think about men nowadays, though? Honest opinion.
Um, Men nowadays, they're slipping, man. A lot of times, one thing I notice, as I said, going to going to church now, men nowadays they seem to be backtracking towards what they're truly to be a man. Cause back in my time, I had a lot of role models in my life. I have a lot of people that I looked up towards, even basketball players, even players. Like I looked up towards them. You know, I looked up towards them because I seen what they achieved and what they did in life. Nowadays, I know these young youths, they don't even look up to those things what man has given them because some of these men are not even operating properly.
Mm.
Look on right now, hear news with Art Kelly. This man is manipulating women, these little young children, over these period of time and going crazy and whatever thing. This is R&B singer. This is person I used to look up towards and say, man, I love his music. I love how he's stepping out. I love all these things, but I didn't know he was that type of person. He's a predator.
Mm.
Didn't know he was in them kind of madness, like literally predating off these young little girls and doing all these things. And it's a crazy thing when you look at your role model to do all these things, and it's a man figure too. And for you to hear all this stuff, it takes you out of your position of being a man. But at the end of the day, the charger of man, of all men, is God Almighty. And I think that that's the problem we seem to be running away from. Even in school, they took the education out of having God believing in there. There's no more prior being said in no announcements or nothing. I remember when I first elementary school, 2 and 2, you'd hear "Oh Canada" being sing, and you would hear you saying the godly prayer for the day. So those things helped you out into what you need to do with your foundation. Nowadays, what the key is, what we seem to be lacking, is just God being more in a man's life and understanding a man's role. A man seems to be slipping out towards what they believe in and what they're becoming. We're letting the woman take in charge with everything what a woman's not supposed to do. A woman's a birth giver. A man is a director. And we seem to forget all those things. And being a man, we're forgetting what we need to direct. We forget totally. Woman is a birth giver. A man is a director. We're forgetting those things as being man. That's my take towards it.
Mm. What I'm getting from you is like the roles are kind of reversed
Yep.
in a certain way. Girls are, sorry, females are more in the front line.
Taking all of it.
They're the soldiers. They're the breadwinners. They're the everything. While the guy just sits back and relax, if you want to say, or is the emotional one out of the two. She's more masculine and he's more feminine nowadays. Um, I think it thumbs down into 3 categories, in my opinion. One, a guy is trying to be a super pleaser, any means necessary to make his woman happy. Two, he's been done wrong by women all of his life, and I think the only way he could make them feel happy is being feminine. Third and last route that I see is that he just wants to settle down with whoever. He'll do whatever it takes. He doesn't care if it makes him look weak. Some at times men were not in their masculine. It's common. It's fine. But you cannot be feminine all the goddamn time, because that is going to trigger a woman off physically and mentally, and she's going to wander off and want somebody that knows how to balance his emotions. If you're too much in your feelings, I want to say, what I mean by in your feelings is crying and texting or calling every minute, checking in like she's your parole officer, that type of stuff. It's fine and all to tell your girl that you like her, you love her, or have a nice day, hope to see you soon, or I miss you. Those are fine. But it's when it gets to a point where, oh, why aren't you texting me or calling me? What's taking you so long? And all stuff. That is being overly emotional and in your feelings. I think men have to deprogram just 2 generations just to get back and be like, look, I love you and all, but I'm not going to be calling and texting you every goddamn minute. I have a life. You have a life as well. Just link up when you're done your shift or whatever she's doing. I think that we get too caught up in the texting every second, and when that person is, let's say, off by 2 minutes or 5 minutes, our mind starts to assume the worst. Either that person is cheating or they don't love us anymore because they're taking forever to respond back. Nowadays, people are busy. You gotta live with that fact. If you're gonna keep on hounding them and all that stuff, it's not gonna work. You're gonna be more in your feminine state than your masculine state. You have to know when enough is enough. You cannot be overly emotional. Vulnerable is fine. Being vulnerable, like I said, is saying, I love you, or have a nice day, and just link me when you're done work, or call me in your lunch break if you want to meet up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm downtown, you downtown, or we're in the suburbs. That's fine. But if you're gonna call your partner in their work period, on their work break, saying, "Oh, so how's your day?" or "What are you doing?" or "What took you so long?" and "Why didn't I hear about you all day? Why are you taking forever to respond back to me?" That's just neediness or clinginess. You have to know how to separate your yourself from that person. I think a lot of men have separation issues. They're used to the same routine, and once that routine breaks, their whole life breaks. I really think that men focus their life on their partner, which is crazy in my book. If you're known to see your partner, let's say every other day or every weekend, and that stops and you get like anxiety, you have to learn how to have hobbies outside of your relationship. Occupy your time, because that time apart and your hobbies is going to strengthen your relationship. But I think men are too body and bench with their females nowadays, to the point is when they don't see them or interact with them in a day or two, they start to assume the worst. That is given the power. I don't want to say power, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. It is power to your spouse, and they're gonna use that little chink in your armor to your disadvantage and walk all over you. Do you agree?
No and yes. The thing is, the power towards what women's been given, or it's not really even power.
Mm.
It's not really even nothing, because the end of the day, as I said again, relationship is a related thing towards each other. And what it is with man, it's not we're being female-ish and we're being things towards a relationship. We don't understand a relationship. We're going into places what we do not understand nowadays. The why the shifting has been coming now, and the woman's been in charge now, is because us as being a man forget what that word man is about and what man does. We just start to sit back and let the woman take in charge of everything what we do, everything what we want, fashion wise, clothes wise, everything, literally. Because think about it, how long a woman takes to get ready. One of the key things women love, they love to do their hair, they love to do their makeup, they love to do their nails, they love to do these little extra things. Why? Because it makes them beautiful. All a man has to do to say to a woman right now, to say, honey, listen to me. You don't need to put all those things on. You still look beautiful. It's the same day I met you, you still look beautiful. Show them, show the woman how they look and how they direct themselves. Like you're molding something for you, and that's how you mold a woman. You show them how they are and how they make you feel. That'll make them more interested in you than more than anything else. Is when we decide as man, as I said again, let the woman get in charge. When they get in charge, what happens with them? As I said again, they start to put on the nails. They start to do the hair. They start to do all the makeup. They need to look good. They need to show themselves they need to look good. When a man tells them they look good and show them how they look good, then they look at it and go, I don't need all this nails. I don't need all this extra additive stuff. I don't need to go up on a road and go look for a next man. I don't need to play those games. And that's the problem what we seem to be doing nowadays. We're not actually being men. We're not putting ourselves out there and saying, here, honey, God dag, man, look at your brown skin. You look so nice and sexy.
Mm.
Look under here. Why you pretty? You no need for put no extension in there. God, what? Look on them feet there. Let me rub them down for you. Those kind of little interesting things what you do will make your woman feel such a better person. Honey, man, what? I notice you put on a little muscle on you. I notice the backside a look a bit rounder. All these little things what you're noticing, you're like, yo, you're bringing her self-esteem up. So she don't need to put all those other things that are making her up. Just think about it. That's what makeup's about.
Mm.
It's making up this woman, what you truly love and desire. It's making up things. See, nails. As I said again, the hair. It's making up things, and these are the things what men are slipping out of position and place. What we need to do in society and do, put our woman back to what they're supposed to be. Our woman, our gorgeous, looking, sexy, big body, round woman. That's what it is. That's my take for that.
Oh yeah. So